Okay guys, I am super pumped today to tell you all about my new approach to living with FND. So I was watching this brilliant video yesterday by neuroscientist David Linden, and I'll put the link in my description. And he specializes on the brain, and the content that he was covering got me really thinking about the whole FND, Functional Neurological Disorder, being a brain disorder, yeah? And the importance of the brain in the whole process of kind of, if you will, malfunction with FND. And it got me thinking about how to really start focusing in on the brain and hacking the brain to really start getting a better outcome around living with FND and starting to work on my symptoms in a way that is far more kind of programmatic in its approach. And look, don't get me wrong, it's not a cure by no stretch, but it's around how to manage day to day in hacking your brain when you have FND. The first hack that I'm going to focus and talk about is something that I kind of already have been working on and kind of had success. And it's called basically that you're rewiring and relearning how to talk to your own biology. So basically that's you starting to intercept the way that you're kind of talking to yourself. So when talking pure psychiatry, how pure psychiatry works, it works because it changes your brain. So when you go to a psychiatrist, that learning and reinforcement, similar to a lot of the therapy that I've done, it's really about because it changes your brain. The same is true with any behavioral process. The kind of primary concept around this is the mental effort doesn't work in the ether. You commit to the hack. It's a biological intervention. So basically, what does this interception means? It's while looking at your senses, so looking at light, sound, looking outward, you have this inward pointing sense known as interception. Interception is your sense of self. Is my bladder full? Am I level? Is my stomach distended? And really, when it comes to FND, you're seeing that conflict of signals. And so this is like, as I went through this and listening to this, it's so on point. Like the problem is the signaling element. So rather than just ignoring and just looking at your symptoms, you're starting to acknowledge, to really start helping your brain understand what is actually going on and somewhat intercepting that process by, for example, looking at the hack check-ins. So I learned a bit of this when I was doing therapy. The goal being consciously moving to interceptive signals from the subconscious autonomic system to the conscious motoring system. So 3 times a day, stop and ask, basically, how is like checking in on your body. How am I feeling? Is my hand shaking? Am I starting to get tics? Have I been experiencing any vision issues? And by noticing the rhythms, the symptoms in our case, it's a state where the brain is consciously responding to the breathing, the heart rate, if that is what you're focusing. So at night, I've now started to get irregular heartbeats. Prior to that, I used to get tics, I used to get spasms, I used to get convulsions. But what I did is I used a form of focusing in on myself every single night when I would get my tics and spasms. I did it last year. It lasted for 3 months. And I was able to have no tics or seizures or convulsions. I've done it again this time. And now it's kind of seems to have manifested in the heartbeat side of things. So now I'm starting to focus in on that. But my point is, through me focusing in on myself and not having the tics and not having the convulsions, I was able to crack that hack of educating my brain that that's not what's supposed to happen. What's supposed to happen is that I'm straight, that my whole body is relaxed. I used a form of focusing in on myself every single night when I would get my tics and spasms. I did it last year. It lasted for 3 months. And I was able to have no tics or seizures or convulsions. I've done it again this time. And now it's kind of seems to have manifested in the heartbeat side of things. So now I'm starting to focus in on that. But my point is, through me focusing in on myself and not having the tics and not having the convulsions, I was able to crack that hack of educating my brain that that's not what's supposed to happen. What's supposed to happen is that I'm straight, that my whole body is relaxed. And it's that re-education. And as a result, it's about refocusing in on my body's state and telling my body it's okay, it's safe. And again, with a lot of the treatments that we've done, a lot of it is about calming myself, telling myself again what the importance is of what I'm feeling at that time. So as part of this process and this first hack, it is about constantly checking in, and then rather than focusing in on, oh my God, I'm having these massive heart irregulations every single night and freaking out and starting to spiral, which was what I was doing at the start. I was like, great, I got rid of my tics, I got rid of my convulsions and spasms, but now I've got like a crazy heartbeat. And so now what I've started to do is accept that that's what's happening at the moment, focusing in to calm my whole body, explain to my whole body and mind that I'm in a safe space, I am resting, and I've been doing that every night for a couple of weeks. Again, none of this is about a cure, an instant solution. It is about repetition and training. It is honestly, now that I had this epiphany yesterday about the brain needing to be as built as if I'm training my body for a marathon. It's going to take some time to recondition and retrain, but I am committed. And this was my number one first step in regards to brain hacks, the interception of what's actually happening at the, and like the shakes are great, another example. But it is about starting one thing at a time. So the first thing I'm going to be starting to focus on is the heartbeat at night, because it is incredibly intense. And so that's what I'm going to focus in. The next item I'm going to start working on is in regards to my walking and being able to drum that home quickly. But I hope you enjoy. That is my first brain hack that I'm working in. I will put supporting research as well as references that I've covered off on this information. Subscribe, stay tuned, and I will keep you posted with my progress. Bye.